National unemployment rate more than 9%. It's higher than that in North Carolina. But a new Rasmussen poll makes it seem even worse. Found that nearly 80% of Americans know someone who is out of work or looking for a job. So what happens when you apply? There's always one question that sticks out, and that's salary requirements. Our career expert Randy Wooden's here to talk about that. Good morning.
Good morning.
It is a very awkward question. Salary, what do you make now? What do you expect to make?
Sure, it can be. And if you're not a TV star with an agent to negotiate those
that's Neil McNeil. He
multi-million-dollar contracts, and you have to go it alone, and you've got to do it for yourself. It's not in your interest to bring it up. First of all,
okay.
You want to build value in the employer's eyes, so they not only know you can do the job.
What do you mean?
To give examples from your past work as to your skills, to show enthusiasm. It's one thing to be able to do the job, but if you sit there like this, if you read the news like this, you could read the news, but you wouldn't have a job very long because your attitude wasn't a good one, didn't come across. So you want to build value. I can not only do the job, but I'm the man for the job. And at that point, when the employer says, okay, I think I'd want to hire this fellow.
Well, who's going to ask the question? Do you wait for that interviewer to...
I would wait.
Really?
Oh, I would wait. It's really not in my interest because...
Does it act like you're not interested?
Not at all.
Okay.
No, but at some point, it's their move to say, Brad, we'd like to make an offer to you. It's at that point you want to talk about salary or benefits or what have you.
Well, let me throw something at you these days. If you've been making this and you've been out of work for a while, you would settle for this.
Sure.
Be honest with them and say, I used to make this. I'm open to all. I mean, people are willing to do a lot of things for a job. How do you not come across as being desperate?
Magic word for the day is realistic.
Okay. Good
Buyer's
word.
market. And if
I'm realistic.
I'm realistic. I don't want to use the word fair because that has certain connotations, but I'll use the word realistic. So if I can dodge the question, first of all, I'll say something like, Brad, I'm sure that we'd both be realistic. Let's look to make sure we have a fit, and then we can talk the dollar side. We'll be good with that. If that doesn't put you off for a while and forestall that conversation at some point, then you bring it back to me and say, okay, what do you expect of me?
Yeah.
At that point, if I have to give them a range, I'll do that. But I really would prefer not to. And if I give them a range, I put it in pretty broad terms, and I ask them how that matches up with what they were thinking.
It's a real delicate chess game. Don't want to be too high. Don't want to go too low.
Don't be the one to first name a number. That's the worst thing you can do.
Okay.
That worst thing you can do, because then at some point you either walk away as an employer or I've undercut myself.
What do you do if they come back and say, "Whoa, that's out of our range"?
Then now you got a problem.
Now you got a problem.
Because what you want to do when you give them a range is make the bottom of what you tell the employer pretty close to where realistically you expect
that's really going to be your bottom. Don't inflate anything.
Right, be realistic again. And the employer hears the low end of what you say. They didn't hear the high end; they heard the low end. So that's the pool that you're going to swim in.
Yeah.
If they say Randy, you're out of control here, you're too high, then I think what I need to do is step back and say, well, maybe I misread what we're talking about or something, and try to keep
the conversation going.
Keep it going and say, maybe there's some additional duties I can take on, or at some point you say, you know what, this is not a fit.
You know what? Great advice. I tell you what, it is the toughest part of an interview, and hopefully
it can be.
Using some of those keywords, using some of those techniques, maybe it's going to help you get over that, walk right into the job. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Tell you what, this is the man to ask career-oriented questions. You can reach Randy at 793-8040 or check out his website, woodengroup.com. People can email you there as well.
Yeah, I've been doing this for years, really enjoy it.
Woodengroup.com, check it out. Hey, here's some details about how people are looking for new jobs. Latest Rasmussen poll shows 45% of Americans believe personal networking, the best way to land a new job. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
He agrees. The man agrees. Ask the person next to you, your neighbors, your friends. 22% say apply online. 11% say employment agencies. 9% use the old newspaper classifieds to find their next career.